This week on the Fan Base, we talk the NBA Conference Finals, certain enhancements, and an NFL player having a baby and actually claiming it.
Run it. The Fan Base.
Hey there, thanks for joining us this week on the Fan Base. I am your host, the sexual chocolate, D. Olive. And I'm joined by my sidekick that I would cross the street to avoid because he'd stumble around like a bumbling drunk. Leo.
Ladies should avoid me, as I'm too sexy for them to handle.
You're also a registered sex offender.
And I explained to the judge that I warned those sorority girls not to give me any of their jungle juice.
This episode of the Fan Base is sponsored by an apple. One a day keeps the doctor away and will help you stay stress-free if you have the computer. Why? Because there's a lot of porn on the internet. Well, it's that special time of the year, Memorial Day weekend. Time for the 3 Bs. Beach, barbecue, and bikinis.
What's really special is that the NBA conference has begun.
Yep, the Indiana Pacers worked all year long for home court advantage over Miami, and they go and blow it in Game 2.
And the Thunder just blow.
The Thunder were blown out and have no answers for the Spurs. Tim Duncan continues to charge down the lane with his walking cane.
Everyone easily gets inside as if it were a porn gangbang.
I think that Coach Scott Brooks will be fired after losing this series. His playbook is as thick as a pamphlet.
You're giving him too much credit.
His plays usually consist of Westbrook dribbling around the court looking for a shot. It kind of reminds me of a dog in heat looking for a slutty bitch.
Stop thinking about V. Stiviano.
And Durant, man, I don't know what's going on there. Durant stands around the perimeter looking confused, like when I try to watch an episode of Downton Abbey. Retired NFL players filed a suit this week against the NFL saying that the team doctors constantly doped them up like racing horses. You know, they're outraged. Their situation is nothing like retired racing horses, only because women don't want these guys as studs.
But the brains get turned into glue.
There's a big question asked around the NFL this week. The Indianapolis Colts owner, Jim Irsay, has yet to be punished by Roger Goodell. It's been months since he was busted with a sack full of drugs and 29 G's in cash.
Couldn't that be labeled as intent to distribute?
Not if you have high-priced lawyers. Meanwhile, one of his star players, Robert Mathis, was suspended 4 games for taking a fertility drug.
Mathis was just trying to distribute a baby into his wife.
Yeah, he was using it as an enhancer, but not for football purposes. So how about we play a little game called Enhancer or Not?
That reminds me, I need a refill on Viagra.
California Chrome won the Preakness, which means that he's 1 win away from winning the Triple Crown. But for his next race, they had to get approval for him to wear a nasal strip. Enhancer or not?
I'm going to say enhancer.
Correct. The nasal strip looks cool, which makes Drake want to hang out with him.
He'll get to be in a hip-hop music video.
The NBA lottery went down Tuesday night. The Cleveland Cavaliers got the right to pick first in this year's draft. Wait, this would be the 3rd time in 4 years. I mean, how does that even happen? Did they use enhancer or not?
Yes, they did.
Correct. Because even though he's retired, David Stern still is able to do his best Houdini act. Now you see it? Now you get another chance to pick first.
He's good because somehow he manages to reappear when you don't want him to.
Mark Cuban, yeah, he came out to say something controversial. What? That's new. He said that we're all prejudiced in one way or another. When he said this, did he use an enhancer or not?
I'm going to say yes.
Incorrect. He did not, because he did not have a homemade strudel from Dirk.
Oh, that strudel is so good, it would make the mafia rat out to the boss.
We're going to wrap up this week's episode of The Fan Base. We have to replace the cake since Mr. Freeloader went and emptied it. Join us again next week, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a good one.
Run it.